Hello and welcome back to my channel. Here we like to do things budget friendly, and if you are like me and have champagne taste but on a beer budget, these videos are for you. Okay, you guys, I am coming at you with another wig video. This is going to be a Temu wig video, so you can get an idea of some yays and some nays that I have recently picked up, including the one that I am wearing. But first, let's dip into our random useless knowledge for today. Okay, so the next page for today's useless knowledge. Some historians think Vincent van Gogh didn't cut off his own ear, but that a painter, Paul, I want to say Gauguin, it's spelled Gauguin, Gauguin, did it with a sword. So, if you were ever wondering that Vincent van Gogh's got an ear missing, did he do it? Did somebody else do it? Apparently it's a little up in the air. I noticed that Koi was back in the background chomping on my very precious handmade, see, she just thinks this is a toy, handmade garland. So I don't want it ruined. So I'm gonna put it away. I know you guys sometimes like to see her antics, but this is actually a nice piece that I don't want ruined. So I need to kitty-proof that and put it away. But sorry about that. Catapulted off the table and shook you up a little bit. Let's talk about this wig. This is a Temu wig, and it is a free part lace front wig, and it does not look like this out of the box, you guys. I use the blow dry tip where you hold the wig upside down, use a blow dryer inside of the wig cap while the hair fibers are hanging down towards the floor. You swirl around the blow dryer and then let it cool. But you don't want to keep the heat on any of your lace front or any of your wigs really for too long. That's why you have to keep moving it around. And then sometimes I will cool shot it, or sometimes I will just, keep it upside down and then shake it out a little bit and let it cool on its own. And that didn't give me enough pow. So I did go in with a heat comb, and I did kind of show you how to do that with a heat comb. And I am telling you, if you are playing with wigs and you want to get more volume up in this like root area here, I highly recommend that you pick up a heat comb. Check out a couple videos back where I did a haul. If you are still not sure which haul that was, and if you would like a link to the heat comb that I picked up, under $12, it works phenomenally. If you are a wig girly and you want this extra volume and you have a straightener but it's not doing the same thing, check out the heat combs. Again, questions below. If you'd like the link, I can send you the link, or you can just check out some of my previous videos. This wig, obviously, you guys, I am super driving on this gray hair, and I love that in one of my last videos, you guys really loved that gray. Here's what I would like to see. I would like to see us be able to wear gray hair as a fashion. I would like to see it more normalized out in public, and so that we can, as women, as we age, feel more confident to embrace it, right? Because the older we get, the more fragile our hair becomes, the more fragile our skin becomes. Dyeing it can cause so much damage, and you don't want to thin your hair out any more than necessary by using additional chemicals. And so I would love to see this. And I know that there's, younger people who are dyeing and bleaching and toning their hair to make it look this way. But for whatever reason, the older we get, we feel like beauty needs to be looking younger, and therefore dyeing our hair And I would like to see us be able to still feel beautiful. Perhaps I'm rambling, but perhaps you know what I'm talking about, right? So I've picked up a handful of wigs and that are gray or silver gray or platinum, like grayish blonde. And my partner does say it makes me look older, but again, think of beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? If you feel fierce in it, if you feel beautiful in it, you do you. You do you. Don't let anybody else tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. And if they say it makes you look older, chances are if I was to wear this out in public, somebody is going to comment on my hair. Somebody will. I guarantee you that. And there will be people out there that will do that. You don't need to just take one person's negative comment about it, shove the wig in a drawer, never to be seen again, okay? So just wear it with confidence, be fierce, be uniquely you. Let's go back to this wig, shall we? This is a beautiful little number. This is a layered wig. So it has these framing pieces in the front, and this is the curl that comes with it, right? So this is the pre-curl. The only thing that I adapted to this wig was the additional volume. Now, the picture showed it to be more of a center part, but I don't care for center parts. I like my hair to be kind of side parted. So with this wig, I was able to accomplish that with that heat comb by just giving volume everywhere. So it would kind of form where I wanted it to. And this wig is actually, it's not, obviously it's not super shiny, and it's not labeled as like a tangle free because some are labeled tangle free. They either are or they aren't, but this one actually isn't so bad. I can still run my fingers through it. The density of it is not super thick, but it might be a little bit thicker than some wigs that I have, but this is all of it. This is the density of it. So it does with the layers in the front, it's a little bit thicker up here, and then it kind of thins out down here. Okay, so this is one side. The back side, obviously you've seen the front, and the other side. And then this one, interestingly enough, has a strap in the back, an additional strap. And I love that. I love that. This is, where are you, hair? Is it a cat hair? Could be a cat hair. Something's on my lips, driving me bonkers. But this one is a lace front wig. It's got that additional strap in it. And I think I'm finding out that my head isn't quite petite, but it's not. It's at the small end of average. So that additional strap really makes that nice and tight on my head, which is really nice for some of your lace fronts, because the tighter on my head that it is, I don't have to wear glue or tape. So here is the glue. I almost biffed it. I almost took out the chair with me. But you can see the lace, right? And again, what I have stated before is that the lighter color the wig is, the less conspicuous these knots are. But if you have a lace that is too loose on your head and you need to use glue or tape, that's when things get a little complicated for me. That's when I don't know how to make it look absolutely gorgeous sitting on my face. So with that additional strap, it makes it nice and tight on my head where it kind of pulls down that lace so it's a nice snug fit. So if you have a more petite size head and you're finding that some of the Temu wigs might be a little bit too large and you find that you do have to either glue or tape your lace, check this one out. Of course, all of the Temu wigs that are still available, of course, I will link and list in the description box below. If for whatever reason it is not available, I will additionally put notes in there that that one is not available. Now, I don't want to go out and find comparables. Most often, if I'm buying something from Temu, like clothing, trinkets, knickknacks, I will find a comparable, but wigs aren't the same, right? If it looks the same in one picture from one distributor and they have the same picture in a distributor, another distributor, that doesn't make it the same wig. So I'm not going to put comparables down. So whatever is still available, links will be in the description box below. The rest of these Temu wigs, I have some I would like to keep. Some of them are going back. And it's not because they're horrible quality, right? It's just because my tastes have changed. So think of it this way. You've eaten McDonald's cheeseburgers primarily all of your life, and you think it is the bee's knees, best food out there, and then you start going and eating steak at a nice steakhouse, right? After that, you're kind of like, well, those McDonald's cheeseburgers just didn't taste as good as this, and now I'm kind of spoiled on the steak and don't really want the McDonald's cheeseburgers anymore. Now I just want the steak. That's kind of how I am with wigs right now. I'm kind of spoiled, but here's the beauty of that, right? I get to play around with these wigs and I get to tell you what I have found that is a little bit higher quality than what I have been finding. And I can provide those links for you so that you don't have to experiment, take something home, not like it, have to turn around, return it, and try again. Okay, so next one I have is one of these that's going to be obviously not gray toned. It's going to be a little bit darker toned, but it has bangs in it. Now this one I will not be keeping because there's a couple of things in here that I don't quite care for. The coloring is absolutely beautiful. The layering in this is absolutely beautiful. The problem is the bangs. Now the bangs were a curtain bang, and because it is a hard front, the hard front meaning there is no lace, because it is a hard front, I did everything that I could to kind of make these bangs be more front facing as it does in the image. And I may have messed them up. Now, it's not going to go to waste, right? I obviously can't return it for my money back because I fiddled with it and I have fuckered up the bangs. Right? But you will kind of see. The other problem is that this one, the fibers are really soft in here, but it is not a tangle free. So this one has a tendency to kind of snarl a lot, where you kind of have to constantly run your fingers through it and smooth it out so that you don't have just kind of these weird little things going on with it at all times. Otherwise, the rest of this wig is beautiful. This is the top part on it. So it's got that naturalistic scalp appearance on the top. And again, the density of this is beautiful. The coloring of this is beautiful. The layering is beautiful. It's ultra soft, not super shiny. But again, I think with this one, maybe I shouldn't have played around with the bangs, but the fact that it was a hard front and with the bangs being kind of this curtain bang swoopity swoop when it came out of the bag, it showed that hard front. And again, now I'm used to my steaks. The McDonald's cheeseburger isn't quite cutting it for me. Here's another kind of hit, kind of miss. The reason why I would like to return this one is because this one I feel is too shiny. Now, could I dull this down with some dry shampoo? Yes. But because it's a synthetic fiber, the dry shampoo trick, although it does work temporarily, does kind of flake off and slide off because these fibers are very soft and silky. Now, other than that, this is a beautiful wig. It does have a lace front, but the knots on this lace front is very, very, very light. I have seen some that are very dark and a lot more conspicuous. And this one may be bleached. The knots on these may be bleached as to why they're a little bit lighter toned than some things that I have seen. But this one, again, is too shiny. With that too shiny, for me, it looks a little over synthetic. But outside of that, if you don't mind something like this, this also is a free part lace front wig. So you have all of this that you can play with. So obviously do the heat trick where you hold it upside down and you put your blow dryer in it to lift those roots. Shake it till it's cool or cool shot it till it's cool. It will give you some of that lift so that you can then play around with this part, because a lot of times what they do is they will heat treat it back and you kind of can't, you know, put your part wherever you want it. So I highly recommend doing that with these. But other than the fact that this is super ultra shiny, this would have been a really beautiful wig to keep. But again, you guys, I'm really liking my steak. I mean, I might have to say that a ton of times this video, but I think you get what I'm saying, right? Now, this little beauty is a kind of a swoopy front wig, but it's a hard front wig. And I did return this one. It wasn't quite as pictured. I'm thinking that I'm trying to find, you know, the best dupe for the John Renew. I currently haven't put this on. You will obviously be seeing the side by side of this, but this one has that little circle right there, the little circle part. It doesn't have a real defined part. It doesn't really have a pre-tease, so this one is going to take some work. This one I'm going to have to play around and heat treat. I'm going to have to do some blow dry tricks. I'm going to have to do some heat comb tricks to try to get it to be nice and swoopy. Other than that though, the texture on this is beautiful. It's beautifully soft. It's not too shiny. It's not ultra shiny where it kind of makes it look way too fake. This one does have combs on only the back side. On the back side. So most of these have combs and the bra strap adjusters. Now I prefer the adjusters to be, you know, that thing, the thing that sticks together, Velcro. Because these have a tendency to snag my hair. But other than that, I love these little adjusters because, again, like I'm saying, I'm finding that my hair or my head is a little bit more petite, not officially petite, but on the small end of average. But this one is very soft, very, very, the texture of it is very, very nice. It's very realistic feeling. And then of course it has the closed wefting. Now what I can say about the closed wefting, what's nice about that is that your hair fibers don't pull through these, but it's not necessarily breathable for your hair. So wearing the closed wefting isn't that healthy for your hair and your scalp, just FYI. But obviously you'll be seeing in the side by side what I'm able to do with this one to make it work. And again, I did return this one, but they did let me keep it. So I'm just gonna see what I can do with this one. Next up is one that I will most definitely be keeping. I am loving the idea of bobs right now because the winter months, we wear our hoodies, we wear our jackets, we wear turtlenecks, and all the friction with your clothing and your jackets and all of that will tangle the nape. The nape is what's back here. the nape of your wig, and you're constantly having to brush that out because of that friction. And I like the idea of a bob in the winter time because then you're not constantly having to brush out your longer wigs. Although on the flip side of the coin, if you think about it, if you're wearing longer wigs in the summertime, you're gonna be sweating buckets. But on days that I'm kind of lazy and I just wanna throw on and go, these bobs are actually amazing. And this one in particular is absolutely stunning. The coloring of it is stunning. The way that they have cut it is stunning. Everything about this is actually very, very nice. There is not a free part, so it is a center part, and there is, let's see, a little bit of lace around the edges here so that it will blend into your scalp. Of course, it has the clips in the back, the bra strap type adjusters, and you see I have to pull it all the way tight. But I found that that's been working out for me. Any whoozy whatsy. I did heat treat this one. I did add volume to it. I did play around with it. And again, they come out kind of flat. They come out of the bag kind of flat. So you do kind of have to putz with them. And that's why I'm saying if you guys don't have a heat comb, I would highly recommend you getting one. But the nice thing about this one too, is this is another one where the knots aren't so bad. They don't look like a ton of little speckles all over my forehead. So this one is actually another one that's pretty decent, shockingly enough. So as far as a nice, good quality bob goes, if you're looking for one, but you don't want to spend a ton of money, I mean, under 30 bucks, check this one out. I think you will really like this one. The last thing I picked up from Temu is Jafani Leave-In Wig Detangle Spray for maintaining the ideal appearance and feel of the wig. Fights frizz and tangle. Soft and easy to comb, make hair back to life. But this is what it is. I do have a wig shampoo that I use on my wigs, and I have been finding that it's actually kind of like a 2-for-1 in a way that it also adds moisture and detangling properties to my wigs. But if you think about how dry it is when it's winter time because you've got the cold air from the outside, plus you're sitting inside all of the time and the furnace is always on and that's kicking out dry hair, you're kind of fighting the frizz because it will dry things out. So in between washings, I thought that I would get a wig specific kind of like a detangler, frizz fighter, not so much to moisturize it per se, because for a synthetic wig you can't really penetrate it like a hair follicle, but just something that will make it a little bit easier to brush, something to kind of give it a little coat so that it doesn't, you know, fly away or fly in your face or what have you. Haven't opened it yet, obviously, but I'm gonna give it a try and see. I've been washing my wigs, I think like every 2 or 3 wears, only for the ones that I'm using wig glue on specifically, so that I can get all of that glue and crud off of my lace before it damages the hair and the lace. But other than that, I just take a wipe, like a cotton cloth that doesn't shed. I take micellar water to that, and then I just gently rub my lace so that I can remove any of my foundation off of it so that I'm not staining the lace front on my wigs. And that's basically all I'm doing for the ones that I don't use wig glue for in between washings, which at that point, then I will probably wear that specific wig for like 6 times before I consider washing it. So if you're interested in knowing how I wash it, you know, what is the process, what does it look like, how long does it take, I'm more than happy to do a short on that, but I picked up my wig shampoo from a wig store. I trust it a little bit more than Temu. I just want to make sure that even though these are cheap, I don't want to ruin them with something that I can't trust. So that's what I ended up doing, especially for my more expensive wigs. I wanted to make sure I got something of quality while I'm washing it. And I do have to say, it does remove glue. It does remove glue. So if you're wondering and struggling, you've tried glue, now you don't know how to get it out of your lace front, you don't know how to get it out of the hair fibers, wig shampoo absolutely, most definitely does work. But again, it's a higher quality wig shampoo, not from Temu. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know in the comment section down below. But for now, that's all I have to show you guys today, and I super duper appreciate you stopping on by and hanging out with me on another video. I wanted to do a side-by-side with you on today's wigs so we can make this kind of a short and sweet one. Let me know if you prefer the wig try-on with the wig explanation, or if you like me to explain try on blah 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 while I've got it on. Looks like to me within the last poll we did, there's a majority of you, it was like over 60% of you liked the longer ones, but I also know that not a ton of you guys are hopping in here to see the wigs. So I'm playing around with some ideas, keeping it fresh. So I hope you guys are enjoying that, and like, share, subscribe if you're new. I'd love to have you here, but until next time guys, I will see you later. Bye guys.